They score first blood. Now 1437, body blocked in by maybe next time. This is already a great start for Mousesports. They clip him with another fissure, but they do lack the lockdown to go and get kill number 2. But still, 1 kill on the Jug, a defended bounty rune. Already a good start for our Radiant team.
That fissure was amazing. Cutting them off from pretty much the only safe way to get back.
Yeah, he held it for a long time too, didn't just dump it out right away.
Yeah, just really good positioning from him. Ends up getting a very, very valuable kill on the Juggernaut.
Yeah, so just want to recap. I'm Android, that's Jenkins, of course, and this is the best of 1 between Mousesports and TNC. We started off the game a little while ago, but did have to do a remake due to technical issues, so here we are, game number 2 of the day. And here we go.
Check out this Earthshaker. I think he's going to do the pull.
Is he,
maybe, or maybe he's just stacking.
I think he's just stacking. But now, back towards our mid lane. We did have Thug once again forced to blink back up and does have to go salve himself. So already burning a little bit of regen. In terms of last hits, Quap still looking for something. Again, in our first iteration of the game, we saw Lina really taking charge of the mid lane, got an early kill, really started to take control in terms of last hits and denies, but we'll see if Thug's going to get back in here. Now, interestingly enough, the Earthshaker is not babysitting the Quap as he was in our first iteration.
Oh, he did do the pull. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so they're focusing on giving the Night Stalker a really easy lane this time around, because I guess they realized that the Quap is a little too difficult. Oh.
Man, Lina just took a lot of damage there. Just took a whole lot of right clicks.
Dude, Cuckoo is cuckoo, man. That was honestly like.
That's calculated.
That was ballsy. Definitely calculated though. Definitely calculated. He felt safe with his Slardar right behind him, and of course he had the Salve and a Fairy Fire ready to go. So he was just being very, very aggressive, as you have to do on Lina. So nice play out of him.
That could have easily gone wrong though. Again, Lina's so fragile, especially before the double null comes out. I mean, she's got 640 total HP. The armor. Not fantastic on her, so.
Oh yeah, it's all very, very low. She's definitely really squishy, which is why they were able to actually kill the Lina with.
In some trouble here. Yeah, our little Rubik crawling through the jungle goes for the telekinesis onto the Slardar to hold him back and prevent the crush, but he's still super speedy. Already got the shoes, and they will be able to finish off Spartan with a crush and 1 more bop. So Tim's bringing things back to a 1-1, and we are now back at our original kill score. Different heroes dying, but still.
Yeah, I mean, the lanes are relatively similar, too. You have a Quap who's not doing too well. You have Lina who's doing very well. Sand doing okay. Razor, of course, topping the last hits and denies, as he probably should, being that he's Razor.
Oh, lift back on. Tim's potentially in some trouble here, but do they have the lockdown to get him? Quap blinks in, and that's going to be another kill for her. So 2-0 already. Thug having a much easier lane than we talked about. You talked about Lina just winning mid against Quap if it is just a true one-on-one. Just because of Lina's ability to punish and right-click.
Yeah, it's definitely something that favors Lina, but of course, very, very volatile heroes we're talking about here. They do so much damage and are very, very squishy. The one thing is, though, that the Queen of Pain can actually arguably punish harder. I mean, situationally, because the blink, if you do get out of position against the Queen of Pain, she's going to be right on top of you. With the Lina, it's a little bit different with the stun. If you get out of position, she'll stun you. But with the Queen of Pain, if you roam mid and the other supports are there, easy kills.
Yep, double null now picked up on our Lina, already delivered, so she's going to be a little bit more tricky to lock down and harass, but still easy pick, and the Quap should be able to go in. And now it is more of a one-on-one lane than we saw the first time around. So do you think the Quap is going to reflect that by, not going for the max Scream of Pain, or is she still just going to stick with the same max E?
Yeah, I think definitely, I mean, I thought originally that the max Scream of Pain was the way to go, kind of sacrifice the lane, just because it's, obviously it was looking like it was going to be very, very hard just to focus on farming rather than going for kills and pressuring the lane. And it looks like he is, this time around, considering I'm not gonna try to go for kills. I'm not gonna try to be too aggressive. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. The other lanes are doing really, really well. Let's just get as much as we can out of this lane, essentially, without having to do anything too aggressive or too dangerous.
Yeah, another difference here is earlier we saw the Razor and the Sand King be pretty much matched up in terms of levels, but now Madara, even completely solo, is having a super easy time bottom. Back to mid lane, though. We do have Slardar caught on the stairs. The Fissure holds him in temporarily, but nice Light Strike array keeps the Earthshaker back. Unfortunately, the Slardar still drops, and now Lina, she's struggling behind her own tower, is going to get killed off by a rotation of 4. Mousesports are getting angry, they're getting active, they're moving as a group really early on, and this is what their draft excels at. First nighttime, moving the Night Stalker in and starting to feed him kills. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. And honestly, it's funny that he goes for the Blightstone, because with a 4-man rotation, obviously that Blightstone gets so much so much more usage out of it. Like you have the minus armor and everybody's just right-clicking. So in these early rotations in this first night, this Blight Zone's actually really going to pay for itself if he's ganking with anybody else on his team.
Looks like he's trying to go and potentially poke onto the Jakiro, but gotta think better of it and just soak a little bit of XP. He's already almost, level 4.5.
This is interesting, honestly. He's kind of roaming as offlane Night Stalker with, like, he's got a smoke and he's pressuring the lanes as an offlane Night Stalker. I haven't really seen this too much before. This is definitely something new here.
I like his positioning here. He's going to get pinged up by his teammates. Do they try to jump onto the Lina? There is the backup of the Slardar on the uphill, so Skylark may have bitten off more than he can chew here. Gets clipped by the Light Strike Array. They've got the stun to follow up, and it looks like he's going to be going down. Just pops off a little silence on the Lina. Oh! What a miss, and he's able to go and get off the salve. That guy's got someone looking out for him, but with Lina showing off for level 6, they will eventually get the pick on the Night Stalker. It's going to be dewarding here.
They reveal the uphill ward, but for a kill on the and that's not a roaming Night Stalker. Well, I mean it is a roaming Night Stalker, but it's not a 4-roll Night Stalker. That's an offlane Night Stalker, so that's honestly a bigger kill than if it was just because he's sacrificing an entire lane to go there. Jug is completely utterly free farming top. Literally nobody's in his lane. The Jakiro's pulling the jungle, getting farm as well, getting some levels. So that's a big problem if he's roaming and it's not going very well, which is why people usually opt to run it as a roamer.
Potentially in trouble here. They're trying to bait out that Burrow Strike, and now he just doesn't have enough mana. This is a very dead Sand King.
Oh.
The telekinesis back. I don't know if that was a misplay or what, but makes it difficult. They've got to get this kill, and they will. Madara did steal enough damage to get that done, but a little bit more tricky than it needed to be. Well, up top, they will trade their Night Stalker. So big rotations coming in, and that was Raven showing off the debut of the Omni Slash.
Yeah, Jug, typical he gets 6, kill somebody with Omni. Pretty hard to offlane against that. And unfortunately that's Skylark again dying as an offlane Night Stalker. He needs to have early pressure in this game. He's been given an entire lane. He's been given the Earthshaker pulling his lane back. So it is unfortunate that there's been an investment in him and it's not going too well.
Down bottom, looks like we could have our first big fight. 2 support TPs coming forward. Madara stealing a ton of damage, but already down to pretty low health. They've got to be careful there. They immediately kill off the Sand King, but now there is going to be the Lina moving forward. Madara stuck in the trees to try to wrap his way out, make some space, but a Fissure clips onto 2. Light Strike Array and a Dragon Slave will take him out. Unfortunately, the support duo not able to back up their very aggressive Razor positioning now. Oh, they're trying to clip this Jakiro. They see Night Stalker moving. It's the second nighttime, and 1437 left to his own devices will get killed off. One more hit, and they do get it. Now, Cuckoo goes down as well. Can't finish off maybe next time before he goes out. Tim's is super low, but they can't get that aggressive. They can't blink the Quap forward. She's just too low mana, and that's too high risk.
My God, dude, these fissures, these are giving.
What?
Oh.
Are they keeping going now? That was very, very aggressive, but that's what Mousesports need. In order to keep ahead, they need to keep TNC on their toes. They need to be the ones making the plays and forcing TNC to react.
For sure. Definitely what their goal is to snowball out of a strong laning phase, and that's exactly what appears to be going on here, which is pretty nice. The Night Stalker, there's a couple of rough rotations, but he's honestly back in the game. And oh my God, are you seeing these fissures? There's actually a smoke coming out top, by the way.
Yep, rotating in. Madara tried to take top lane to contest the Juggernaut, but it looks like that's not going to go according to plan. Juggernaut doesn't have the Omni Slash up. The Static Link's going out. Fissure doesn't do much but slow the Jakiro's pace, and Razor does go down. Raven picking up another kill. This Juggernaut, I mean, he's just getting off without a hitch here. He's having an incredible laning phase.
Oh yeah, he is a problem to say the least, and honestly, so is the Lina. So there's going to be a lot of value in killing these 2 cores in the next 5 to 10 minutes, because it is very likely that they could possibly just snowball and the game will be completely over, because like we were saying, I think Mousesports with this draft need to do really, really well going to that early game. Otherwise, the kill power, all the damage in the late game that TNC has is just going to shine through, especially because they have a bunch of snowball heroes too, remember.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is the Queen of Pain is pretty far ahead, switching over to net worth now. I mean, she's all right. She's up there with the rest of the core. She's got herself 5 kills, which is, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Definitely.
But it's just about turning it into map objective, just about getting the kills on the right heroes. I mean, you can kill off a Jakiro 20 times, and it's not necessarily going to stop your Juggernaut or your Lina from getting out of control.
And you know what? This Earthshaker is actually incredibly farmed for being a 4-roll Earthshaker. He's very, very farmed right now. He's up at 2,300 net worth.
Yeah, matched up with the Sand King, who had an entire lane to himself.
Yeah, yeah. This is some insanely good Earthshaker play. Every single fissure has cut 2 people off and killed another guy. It's been absolutely insane. He's done exactly what he needs to do. Pretty much, he's done what he can mathematically speaking with this. He's pretty much playing optimally, and he's also really farmed to boot.
Yeah, I mean, him and the Night Stalker have almost identical net worth right now, pretty similar game impact.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter who ran the 3 or the 4. They're kind of just playing the same now. Thug going in, slapping some damage onto Tim's, but there's Sam H, potentially going to give this Quap a hard time. Not able to go and snipe the courier. Darkness is popped. As up top, they do want to get a kill on this Juggernaut while they have the chance. The Fissure clips him again, and they get that little stun. They just need a couple more right clicks. Yeah, Raven doesn't have a whole lot of hope here. Looks like they are just going to be able to finish him off under the shadow of his own tower.
You know,
meanwhile, they're trying to trade mid, and they are getting a good amount of damage off.
Oh, looks like they're trying to fight it. It's a DD on Quap.
Yep, Quap goes in, drops her first ult.
Drops the Echo, and they get the kill. Spartan with a sliver of health, still chasing. He doesn't have health, he doesn't have mana, but he's there to boost them around.
He's burned out. Tyler flapping over the trees, another Fissure clips onto 2. But unfortunately, there's no more follow-up damage. The Queen of Pain is still in the grave. The Razor nowhere around, so they have to let that be. But still, great movement there from Mousesports, showing some serious signs of life.
Very good movement. Playing absolutely superbly, reading the enemy team's ability casting just absolutely perfectly. People dodging stuns, people fissuring, blocking a couple people off, hitting a couple of other people, finishing kills that otherwise could. If the Lina got away there, that's a big problem. That's like we were talking. This Jug and this Lina, they need to die. The Lina's dead. The Jug died. They did exactly what needed to be done. And actually, one thing that I wanted to mention is there's a big dive happening top, actually. I think 1437's dead, unfortunately.
They just need one more hit. Man, that is a speedy Razor. Already picked up his phase. He's burning some charges in the drums, and now he's surrounded here. He's getting low. But again, the damage is ridiculous. The ult's still going. He finishes off the Slardo like it's nothing. And a couple more hits would have taken out the Sand King, but getting a little snip of the pincers is all he needs.
That is some hashtag space. Look, he's top net worth now. That was a solo. He did that solo. He killed 2 people.
Hey, Static Link's a good spell, right?
Oh. Earthshaker smoke top. They're going on the Sand King.
Yep, trying to go in, and I mean, they do get the lift off.
He has a Soldering Crush. They can crush him.
Yep, they go in. They got the lockdown, and there is going to be a TP in from the Slardar, so they have to back
He
up.
stole a stun too, dude. This Rubik.
Spartan, will you relax
Oh my
for
god.
a second?
He just stunned that guy, dude. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I mean, we don't see a whole lot of Rubik picked up for...
Actually, quickly, speaking of Spartan, I want to mention one thing. His warding has been insane this game. The reason they went on the Jug top and all that good stuff happened was because they had a super deep ward bot, and they saw 3 heroes. So not only did he just make that insane play, the warding was essentially what allowed them to take that insane fight that led to this, like, what appears to be, you know, a bit of a snowball happening here.
Yeah, definitely a big lead right now, and this is what the Mouseport drafts excels at. They get the big kills on Night Stalker, although he had, you know, a somewhat difficult lane, died a couple of times, didn't really hang around to contest the Jug too much. I mean, he helped this team get off to a fantastic start, and we talked in draft about how Razor's a boomer bust hero, and I mean, Madara's booming. He's having some fun. They get in full static link off again. Oh man, the Slardar just evaporates. And now Madara underneath the tier 2 tower is walking in like this is his own
There's a
turf.
Night Stalker.
Yep, Night Stalker going, getting some flappy vision. Thug blinks right on in. Oh my gosh, the stolen Burrow Strike to cancel the TP. Spartan just loves killing people with their own spells, I guess.
Spartan is styling on people this game. Oh my god.
And I mean, Spartan and the Earthshaker Fissures and the Razor Static Links, it's just Mousesports getting off and hitting their stride.
Although, he's stuck.
You know,
we got a problem.
He's sitting back and letting the joy of the kill wash over him. He's got nowhere to be. He's relaxed.
Saving Private Spartan.
Either way, big TP's coming forward. Spartan does eventually TP himself out, and again, the rest of Mousesport's completely free. And this is the kind of game they want. They're making the moves, and they're forcing TNC to react. They're forcing TNC to sacrifice that really safe Jug lane that they had. Yeah. They can't let Sand King just sit back and farm a blink. He has to be with his team. He's got to be there with that Burrow Strike to disable, and he's suffering because of it. He's got 1,500 gold in the bank. He still needs probably another 7-8 minutes until Blink Dagger's up for him.
Yeah, and I mean, check out Earthshaker's net worth. He's very, very close to a Blink Dagger, and he's very, very high level. This is concerning. Lina and Jug, and Sand King actually, those are 3 cores that they're not actually that tanky when it comes to taking magical damage. It's just that they have ways they're fast, they spin, they've, you know, the burrow strike, things like this. They have kind of mobility ways of dealing with magical damage. But Echo Slam, it, you know, it doesn't care about any of that. You can't spin an Echo Slam.
Speaking of that, he might have to just go in. Does get stun locked up. It looks like he might take one for the team. Jenkins, that's what we call the old caster curse.
That's too bad. He's so close to his blink. Poor guy.
I mean, that hurts, but his team is still really far ahead. The Razor, I mean, pretty solid in terms of kills. 5 for him. Our Queen of Pain, 5, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
They've got to make sure their cores keep getting big, because like we talked about, the supports playing out of their freaking minds, but you got to make sure the Quap is still getting what she needs and still itemizing right, and it looks like she is going in for the first item, Lincoln's.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's definitely something that's strong against Slardar. You're pretty much not going to get the amplification on the Queen of Pain. She's actually getting gone on right now. And,
no, she's got a
perfectly
blinky.
fine, I think. Yeah, perfectly fine. Okay. That amplification makes her about 10 times as squishy. She has very low armor. They're actually going on top here.
Yep, there's going to be that spin TP at a Raven. Unfortunately, can't cancel that. Lina did get a chance to run away, so Night Stalker ulti popped out, and this is just going to be Mousesports just firmly taking hold of this lane. You can see their little triangle of fresh wards here. They are just all about making sure no one's going to be sneaking in from the jungle to catch them off guard.
Well, one thing that is a bit of a problem, although they are taking this tower, which means there's going to be a lot less necessity in pressuring the enemy jungle, but that ward that they placed, that was strictly for kills. So that ward's actually going to be completely useless, which is a little unfortunate, but...
Jakiro's gotten out Spartan all by his lonesome, but even this Jakiro who can output pretty bananas amount of damage, they can't go in, and yeah, that's going to be a stolen spin TP. You know, I think why they picked Rubik for Spartan is because he just wanted to play all of TNC's heroes.
He's playing them pretty damn well.
He's playing all of TNC's heroes pretty effectively.
Yeah, I mean, this is genuinely very good spellcasting. This guy is on his A game today. He had a couple of Monster energy drinks or something before this game, and he's just going nuts. That is insane. And looks like there's a group up coming here mid from TNC.
I mean, are TNC, like, are they sweating, or are they just like, all right, early game, not going the way we want. Let's just sit back, let's farm, let's play safe, and wait till late game?
They do have the Lina Bloodstone now, so things can kind of pick up, which presumably is why they're 5-manning now. They do have very good late game. They have a lot of damage. But they're dealing with essentially a 4-core. This Earthshaker is very farmed and does a lot of damage. He actually has a Blink Dagger now as he's about to kill this Slardar top, potentially.
Yep, dumped out the Echo Slam, and that's the Frustration Crush. That is the zoning maneuver. He just wants to get off them tentacles before he goes down. And down bottom, it looks like there is going to be a pretty solid push on this tower. And with Jakiro and the Max Liquid Fire, I mean, they can take out this tier 2 very quickly, but... looks like they are going to mount defense. All the heroes triangulating in, and Thug, he's got his ult ready to go. Let's see if he's going to catch him off on the back lines. They do see the Lina now going forward. Light Strike Array's off the mark, and Quap is going to be drawing a lot of attention here.
This is bad for TNC. There's no Slardar.
There's no Slardar,
He's TPing Shrine. There is a haste rune.
We'll see if they can go. They do catch out the Quap. Can they keep her stun locked? The Light Strike Array comes in, and they do just dump everything they've got. Quap blinks up to the high ground. She's still alive, and they're able to use the Fade Bolt to finish off the Slardar. This is everything Mousesports wanted out of the fight. Now Slardar can't have the initiation sprinting in. Meanwhile, there is going to be a Juggernaut dropping an Omni Slash. They do take out Spartan and Earthshaker. He's on the run, just leading around this Juggernaut, but Rubik is, or rather Razor, getting off a full duration static link. They commit the ult to make sure that Juggernaut goes down. Now they might end up losing their Night Stalker here, but Madara, again, still with 217 stolen damage, and his ult rolling, is looking to go ahead and take out Cuckoo. Ice Path off the mark, so it's going to be Thug teaming up against 1437, potentially losing his life, but this is Madara's game right now. Thug makes it into the neutrals, does end up dying before the TP completes, but again, credit goes to 1437, but he's not around for experience. Sam does have Blink, he's going in for the TP, and can they catch him out in time? They see him, but no way to lock him down. Very aggressive fight, but in the end, body count favors Mousesports.
Thug wasted so much of their resources and so much of their time in that fight. They were trying so badly. The Lina actually sacrificed her own life. She chose, I'm going to kill myself to get this Queen of Pain kill. He chose to not stun the Razor, who was static linking him, who took around 200 damage because she chose to stun the Queen of Pain. And the Queen of Pain barely made it out. And as a result, the Razor ran around killing everybody because the Lina wasn't alive to do anything. So just impeccable play from this Queen of Pain, at least in that fight. Just staying alive as much as possible. Earthshaker, of course, fissuring, keeping him barely at the 10% HP mark, able to get away before any more right clicks come in. So just really nice play and baiting coming up from him.
Yeah, this poor Slardar right at the start of the fight just evaporated, TP'd back in, but still couldn't get anything done. And he's still dreaming of a blink at 20 minutes. He's like halfway there.
Yeah, this is definitely concerning because TNC is a team that with these two, with the roamer and their off lane, they really flourish when they both have blinks, when they can both initiate, when they can kind of back each other up. And one initiates, one does the counter initiation. So it's likely that we'll see team fights go a lot better when they're playing with both of those blinks because they'll be more in their element. But for right now, it's really it's really rough for this Slardar, to be honest. He's not having a very good time here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not what you're looking for. I mean, we see Slardar still picked up a fair amount in this meta. What went wrong for this Slardar? Like, how did he get to this point? Why is he just not able to do much?
I think it's an issue with people don't really. I mean, you saw Raven didn't really give him. They didn't give the Slardar a laner. He was roaming the whole game. And his roams are just on a Queen of Pain and a Razor with an Earthshaker just sitting to fissure somebody, with of course a Night Stalker running around blocking his roaming just completely as soon as the first night starts. So it's just very hard to roam in this game, to be honest, as a Slardar.
Spartan, he's gearing up. He's got his battle plans drawn. Steals the Burrow Strike. Are they going to be able to initiate on that? Meanwhile, Juggernaut, I mean, he was too far up. It seemed like he was just way out of position and didn't have an escape plan.
Yeah, that's a big kill too. That's the thing with Earthshaker versus Chug. His mobility, or his capability of being a very quote-unquote tanky hero is the fact that he can just run away really quickly with super high movement speed, and also he can spin and he has a healing ward and he can put it in trees and that sort of thing. Echo Slam does not give a. Echo Slam doesn't
give
care.
a hoot.
It does not give a hoot. Thank you.
Scan come to, I mean, TNCs, they scan this, they see that there's going to be big movement here onto the mid side of the map, so they're not even going to attempt to defend this tier 1. What's TNC's game plan right now? Because it seems like what they're doing, they're just leaving Cuckoo here. Cuckoo's not sure where to be. They might be able to find Spartan, and yeah, I mean, that is 4 heroes fully committing themselves to a Rubik.
Yeah, he's I don't know. I think he's warding. So
he's having fun. He's Spartan.
I do think the TNC isn't completely screwed or anything like that. I mean, I think they can definitely still absolutely. There's only like an 11% advantage for Mousesports, it seems. So I would say that definitely high ground defense is something they're going to be very good at, given that they have a ton of counter push. They have really good team fight, really good counter initiation. Of course, the Blink Dagger is going to come out on the Slardar, and yeah, I don't think they're sweating that much, especially with even getting a kill on just a Rubik. Anything to stop the momentum, because we talked about it, and I do think TNC has a stronger late game lineup. So all they need to do is hold out, make sure they're not feeding while they're getting their core items, and when they get to an actual power spike, then they can start potentially applying pressure. And even if they don't get to a power spike where they think they can just go run at the enemy team, they can just wait on the high ground and they're going to be pretty good.
Big smoke up here. It looks like Mousesports want to push their advantage and go straight into the Roche pit. I mean, there is crazy amounts of vision invested right here. So Spartan's going to show himself. Again, they've got a full set of wards here, full set of wards up on the high ground mid lane. So we'll see. It looks like TNC, they are going to have to defend this. They all group up. They're smoked. Roche is melting fast, though. Yeah, the Roche fight is coming in. Slardar does have his blink now. He's going to go and crush onto 2. They've got the Macropayer going. Oh man, this is not looking good. Mousesports melting quickly, but Madara is able to get off the BKB in a full duration static link. Raven running away. The Sonic Wave comes forward. They blast down the Slardar, and now Madara just goes to town on Sam H. They can't find the kill just yet. They might be able to get him on the back line. Maybe next time takes care of him. And meanwhile, in the pit, Night Stalker gives his life, but eats up the Laguna Blade. They're still having Juggernaut try his luck in the Roche pit, and there's a blink in from maybe next time. Unfortunately, maybe next time in some trouble there. 1437 still up and fighting. The Roche is getting so low. Who's going to be taking it? It will go down. Oh man, Cuckoo gets a triple kill on the back of that. Radiant took the Roshan, but Raven snatched the Aegis. And now Quap makes her way up to the high ground here. The Shrine's down. She's going to be running under the tier 1, which is super low. Cuckoo still pressing forward here. Looks like the fight is just going to be about over, but Spartan still insists on making it a longer chase. He's not going to get killed by the Light Strike Array. He is making so much space here, and now Thug comes back forward. They're going to try to turn this onto Cuckoo. Base check comes in, the Yule's out, and now they've got the stun coming in onto Cuckoo. Light Strike Array misses. Spartan is still alive. Ice Path comes in, does clip the Queen of Pain, and finally,
oh my god,
is the Rubik's still alive? Spartan He's juking like a champion. They are able to turn that into a Lina kill. He finally dies, but he has done above and beyond his role on this team. Now Sam H coming forward, but Skylark going to continue to press in. They want to kill this Jakiro as well, and with one more scream of pain, they do. Mousesports are playing out of their mind. Thug's still alive. Sam H is going to channel up an ulti here, but the fissure! It holds him in place. Thug is still alive. They're going to be able to turn this into a kill on the Slardar, who's still silenced up. Thug still up, still chasing Sam H. This is the longest fight, but Mousesports are still ahead. Now with the Lina coming back in, it looks like it's time to disengage. Thug hanging out in the trees, has an active TP and now will cast it. It looks like they're not going to be able to accurately guess where he's at. Skylark still juking around the trees and he's up as well. So that started as the Roche started. The Roshan was killed by the Radiant, snatched by the Dire, and then everyone just freaking died, man.
There was so many good plays in that fight. The healing ward placement kept everybody alive through an insane amount of burst damage. The Rubik stole Light Strike array, stunned 3 people when the Slardar and the Sand King went for that absolutely beautiful 2-man crush on the 2 most important heroes on the enemy team. On the Razor, on the Queen of Pain, they were completely disabled for like 5 seconds, but Rubik just ran in and stunned 3 people. And then the follow-up fissure, and it's like they kept countering each other, and one team did one crazy thing, and then the other did some other crazy thing that, oh man, it's too much.
This is the face of a Rubik god. Like, oh my gosh.
This is insane Rubik play. This is absolutely insane Rubik play. He clearly knows how to play all of the heroes on the enemy team, and extremely well, because he is landing beautiful Light Strike arrays. He is landing insane Burrow Strikes. He's using Crush. Quite well. What is going on with Earthshaker's face?
He can't even handle the hype of this game right now.
It's too much for him.
He's like 6 monsters in. His face is just losing control.
And then the fight's just going on for like 10 minutes straight. Oh, good lord.
I mean, that was, just to draw it out. So we started over here with the movement into the Roche pit. TNC came in up this way, and then just massive fight in here, went up the river into the jungle, and then this whole area became the next area of fight. Like,
I think the one problem here is that if Razor's not in the fight, if Razor is not capable of stealing damage, they actually don't have a lot of persistent damage. They have the Queen of Pain ulti, they have the Echo Slam. Nightstalker doesn't do that much damage, Rubik doesn't do that much damage, it's pretty much just disables. So pretty much all of the damage is coming from the Razor, and of course he has a BKB, which allows him to stand there and actually do a bunch of damage. But in that fight, he wasn't able to do that. It just went too long, so that the persistent damage coming from TNC, coming out from the Lina, coming out from the Jug, all of their heroes just constantly have cooldowns off cooldown. They're capable of doing ton damage. So if the fight goes long, TNC's for sure going to win the fight, and that's a problem for Mousesports, especially because the healing ward. The healing ward just keeps everybody alive through the small right clicks and things like that. You need the burst damage, you need the Echo Slam, you need the Sonic Wave, and if you don't have that, you cannot fight.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this Rubik and the Earthshaker juking like their life depended on it, but like you mentioned, there just wasn't enough damage to score the kills until the Quap moved in. So they just got to make sure that there's follow-up, that Mousesports could use their supports to hold down their targets as long as possible, and then bring the damage somehow. So, I mean, scaling later, I mean, can Earthshaker just build into damage of his own and try to just take out Hero solo?
I do think so. He's going for a Glimmer Cape, which of course can be disassembled into a Shadow Blade. When the later the game goes, of course, his strength goes up. He's actually going to have more points in Enchant Totem. He went for the 10 strength, of course, so his damage is going to actually ramp up, and he's going to be able to do a decent amount of persistent damage. I would say that Earthshaker is very excellent at killing supports when it comes to persistent damage in the late game. You don't even need to have Echo Slam; you can kill supports, so that'll be interesting. And the Razor can focus more on the cores. But until it gets to that point, of course, they're going to struggle.
Looks like we are going to have some trouble. Our Nightstalker does get eaten up, wasn't able to really respond. Nice stun lock coming out of the Lina and the Slardar. But bottom lane, Raven just going to be hiding out here. Does have a TP ready, but maybe trying to see if they can make some movements with their team. Sam H is scouted out by SSA Spartan. The Slardar's moving forward, and there is going to be an Omni Slash dumped out onto the Earthshaker. He forces himself away and gets off the Echo Slam. They are able to kill off the Sand King. Madara not able to get off a full duration static link, but still more than enough damage to keep pressing forward. His
Queen of Pain has a haste.
Down.
Oh.
Yeah, Thug is hasted up. He's going to be chasing after Tim. The Scream of Pain's off the mark, so it looks like they're just going to go and cut that one. TPing to the Shrine, though, trying to catch off Cuckoo off guard. And they blink in. Spartan holds him up. Maybe next time going to be locking him down with a fissure. That's a stolen Light Strike array
He's double
to
enchant.
keep him stun-locked. Yep, there's the double enchant, and now Razor's TPing in. But with the Shadow Blade debut, there's really no way they can keep up to him. They got to Really prioritize some vision.
God, he's so fast with that Shadow Blade. 521.
Yeah.
Almost hasted.
Has some speedy feet.
Yeah, that was an insane. I mean, that's just where we see where the issues without, you don't have damage without the Razor around. It's a lot of stuns, and Rubik literally stunned him twice. He stole the stun and stunned him, and and then you have the double enchant totem, and it's not enough. It's not enough yet. So honestly, TNC is itemizing correctly by just building tanky. They're literally just building tanky.
Yeah, I mean, TNC definitely doing a good job slowing momentum here. I mean, down bottom we saw a little skirmish, but not a lot of important bodies hitting the floor. And then while they were doing that, Lina took this tower down to like a quarter HP, and they can just keep doing that. We saw the battle lines drawn in the sand. Sam H drawing in this top lane, saying go top, just keep focusing top tower, slowly but surely chip up map advantage. I mean, how long of a window do Mousesports have to keep going and try to break high ground?
I would say that the window is closing in terms of this window. I think that another window comes online when you have the Aghanims on Night Stalker. They can go for some nice smokes and take some favorable team fights. The damage is still an issue, but it looks like their stuff landing.
Rubik has to fight for his life, and I mean that's an easy pick. I think Spartan may be a little overconfident in his positioning. They did have this ward here, but unfortunately Lina able to walk herself up the stairs without getting scouted by that sentry.
Yeah.
Up in this top lane, we are going to have Madara going forward, debuts the ult, and just have Raven clean it up.
That's so funny that it was just a jug there. People nearby, but it was just a jug, and he postured himself so aggressively that a Night Stalker and a Razor were like, screw this, dude, we're out of here.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty far in without any vision, and now this Lina, she just wants to keep rolling. She's earned her Bloodstone charges back up. They've locked down this Earthshaker, and with the Crush coming in, they do lose the Earthshaker. Now Thug just going to fight for her life.
He might be dead.
Oh no, with the Razor coming in, there can potentially turn this. Cuckoo now going to take some serious damage. They are going to have that BKB going, so a Crush can't help you now. Blink back in the Sonic Wave to score the kill. They get the silence in the slaughter, and that's going to be a twofer. So Earthshaker hits the deck and trading for 2. Now that's A-okay.
Yeah, that's, Razor TP's in. They all of a sudden have enough damage. The Lina, very, very aggressive, Just getting...
She's riding that high with her new Shadow Blade,
Yeah, exactly. Soaking all of the damage, or allowing Razor to soak all the damage from her, saying screw it, trying to finish off the Quap, but wasn't close. The Quap's very, very tanky with this build. Pure tank build, treads, Lincoln Sphere, blocking bar, 20...
Juggernaut? It's going for the blink TP, or the spin TP rather, and they can't stop him.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do to that.
Unfortunate. Either way, this tower, I mean, slowly but surely getting chipped down. As long as there's a fight down bottom, there is someone from TNC trying to nudge in top lane. And I mean, are they just going to keep doing that? Or are they going to look for easy picks and make space?
I think they have no reason to not keep doing that, because the way Mousesports win, like, these heroes aren't really farming heroes. You don't run around flash farming with Razor. You want to group up. You want to push based off of one fights and a secured laning phase. But if they just split until they get to a point where their like insane persistent damage comes online, and they just build really tanky so that they can't die in that burst coming from the enemy team, then all they need to do is take a fight once they get to that point, tank all the damage, and then fight afterwards, and then they're good to go. So yeah, I don't think they need to look to fight at all. They can just wait for next Roche and just chill out.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the net worth, and it's really holding steady. It's been close to even all game. Of course, the Roche fight kind of turned things a little in favor of Mouse, but I mean, it's not out of control by any means. Is that, what does that mean in terms of, Mouse have been really aggressive, going for kills, they've got a kill lead, but still not holding a net worth advantage?
Yeah, I think it's just as a result of...
Oh, hold that thought here, as we are going to have an initiation onto Slardar. The darkness has been popped, and Slardar just gets completely blasted apart. And Jakiro just shows up and sends out a Mercy Ice Path, but Razor is still charging forward again. They know that there's 2 dire heroes down here. Spin TP comes out, so Razor is going to try to soak as much damage as possible, while there's another 4-staff out, and they can't break it, so Sand King is going to be getting back to freedom here. TP's back in now. Thug's Lincoln's is popped, and they are going to have vision of this Lina. Can they lock her down? They commit the Echo Slam, but it's worth it to get that kill. She's dead with no buyback for 60 seconds. Healing Ward picked off by 1 right click to Spartan as well. There is going to be a Juggernaut Omni Slash dumped out, just trying to do whatever they can. Meanwhile, Quap commits the Sonic ult onto our Sand King here, but everyone currently still alive. So a little bit of a bloodbath. They can't quite go high ground yet. Postured very aggressively for a team that wants to take out a tier 2.
Look at the wards these placed that Spartan placed too. Absolutely crazy wards. One on the enemy high ground, one on the I guess map perimeter high ground.
That's like the Tinker ward light.
Yeah. They were really looking to secure this tower, but posturing a little too aggressively and getting punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Earthshaker and the Rubik killed. It wasn't like you dropped Quap's killing spree or anything, but
Yeah.
still just leaving a window for TNC to go and push, forcing, rotations back from Mousesports, forcing Mousesports to play reactionary, which is not what their draft really wants to do right now.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to play reactionary. I think that TNC is going to do way too much damage at a certain point in this game, and they can look to take a Roche fight. With Aegis, it'll be very easy to push high ground for them with the heroes that they have.
Yeah, there we go. They get the lift, and they get the steal. Spartan's able to go ahead and steal himself some dual breath. Not great, but if he can get himself deep into a team fight, it'll do some good work. And now Madara going in, trying to get as much damage stolen
Nice
from
stun,
the Slider
nice
as
stun by
possible.
Lina.
But they got the lock now. Unfortunately, the Razor is so far isolated from his team that there's nothing he can do.
80 seconds. Oh my god.
I mean, he was pretty far ahead. He was holding on to a...
And they're going for the push too.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
god.
was a really big misstep from the Razor, not being with his team and just some overconfidence.
Oh, they're gonna take Roche.
Yeah.
God, it's actually it's almost bad that Roche is up, because I feel obviously it's not bad. But if they had pushed,
Bad for Mousesports?
bad for TNC, theoretically, because if they pushed, Razor actually has no buyback. They don't know if he has buyback or not, but he has no buyback. They could have gotten a Rax because they have Jakiro Jug, Lina hitting from like super far away. But of course the Roche, it's easy enough. They don't know he doesn't have buyback for sure, so they're just playing it safe and getting that Aegis. And he's still dead for 50 seconds. They can still fight, and this is the second Roche, so they have a cheese to push high ground with.
Yeah, I mean, Lina's Bloodstone wearing real thin, but at least she'll get to hold on to some charges of that Aegis now.
And he's a BKB now, so he's actually fairly capable of just sitting and right-clicking in these team fights and casting tons and tons of spells. So I think they're just going to push out this lane and then probably push bot tower. Actually, you can see them. Or no, Rubik was drawing. Rubik anticipates a bot tower push, which would be the smart thing to do. May as well take that tower, take away the map control. Pushing mid is impossible in this patch, so they're not going to do it.
Yeah, Spartan reveals himself under that ward, so they know that there's people crawling around this bottom jungle.
Night Stalker now has this Gem of True Sight, Quelling Blade, and Aghanim Scepter, so this is the second window that we talked about. They're actually... The Aegis really hurts this. It really sucks for Mouse that the enemy team has an Aegis right now, because this is when they want to actually take a fight, because they can get really good information right now, and the enemy team is going to have pretty much none, given that it's nighttime.
Everyone grouping up bottom. It looks like Mouse are keen to fight. They do TP back the Quap from the side shop all the way back into the base, so not a Shrine TP for her, so she's going to have a while to go before she groups with a team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Skylark, I mean, he doesn't have that ult up for 45 more seconds. He's still, soaking in the darkness and crawling around, but they've got to make something happen now, or they just have to sit back and wait. And at this point, if Mouse sit back and wait, that's just TNC pulling ahead and really enjoying their window.
Yeah,
of
and the thing is, they're actually okay. So it turns day, and they immediately go for a smoke, and it's nighttime, but this is the nighttime that they have the same vision as the enemy team, obviously minus the Night Stalker. So this is actually going to be very, very huge for them. This is an intelligent play for sure.
They go in, and now they're going to be running up. Now, they do have Mousesports with the low ground, but immediate BKB reaction. They do not get a fully duration static link off, so Razor fighting with a little bit less damage, but they are still able to go and lock down the Slardar. Not the most impactful kill, but it didn't cost them a whole lot of spells. They've still got the Sonic Wave ready, and Queen of Pain goes in and initiates onto the Jakiro. It is dangerous indeed. Spartan going deep here, isolating the Jakiro, and they bring the Omni Slash forward, and it's going to be bouncing around, doing a bit of damage, but they're still able to go and get the kill on the Jakiro. Laguna Blade eaten up. The gem is on the deck. That's a big pickup for the Sand King, but Razor is still fighting, getting off a nice duration static link, chasing down this invisible Lina, but now they want to turn attention onto the Juggernaut. Meanwhile, the Force Staff comes in from the Earthshaker, and there is going to be a nice epicenter going forward. Sam H locked down here, unfortunately picked off, drops the gem that he just picked up from the Night Stalker, and it's really just Cuckoo left in the fray, trying to escape now. Light Striker Ray holds back the Razor, a Dragon Slave trying to chip down Madara, but he's still pretty full health, and now Madara making his way out. Thug continues to chase down Raven. They do end up losing the Razor, and that's such a huge portion of damage down.
They still have cheese too, although they're just done.
They're done. They don't want to push their advantage there.
Oh, they're going for high ground actually.
Yeah. Quap was able to go back and
oh my
steal
god,
the gem. Oh man, the Quap TP's in, and that's huge! Not only does Quap have the gem, but she's really the last source of damage to prevent these racks from going down. She shrines herself, but she knows she can't go too far in. It's only her and the Rubik, and Spartan's trying to make the plays, goes in with the Burrow Strike onto 2, but one more hit and he will die. Does get burned down by the Lina, and these racks are starting to fizzle. TNC really riding this momentum. It's only the Quap up. In 5 seconds, the Earthshaker and the Night Stalker are coming in. They get a full set of racks, and they're trying to take out another tier 2. They know that Thug can't do much by himself, and this is when they back off. They got what they wanted. They got a one fight. They got some huge picks.
Shrines are available now. They still have cheese. This is looking really, really good for TNC. Yeah, this is the mid racks is so hard to push, especially against things like like Earthshaker and Nightstalker with a vision. It's just so damn hard to set up a good fight there, and they took the mid-ranks just because that fight that went for so long turned out in the favor that both of their cores were still alive, capable of pushing. Even though there was 2 people available for the enemy team, they could still push.
This positioning from Raven here. And it's a pretty easy pick if they can find it. He blinks in, and they are going to be able to go. They're trying to get the lockdown on Queen of Pain here, and with Lina, they might just be able to do it, but there's a blink! Oh my goodness, maybe next time able to go and disjoint the entire fight, but the Omni Slash bouncing around, Skylark eats it up, separates from his team.
That's the gem.
Will give his life. Again, the gem drops, and they are going to be able to reinitiate here. Another Burrow Strike locks down the Earthshaker, and that's a double kill for Cuckoo. Now, this is another set of racks they're going to be able to push.
They don't have another gem for like 5 minutes or something like that too, which is
no.
that was their window. So yeah.
Oh, stolen Omni though. Spartan might be able to make something fun happen with this.
We'll see. It doesn't. I mean, it does do decent damage. I mean, it's not a jug, but they definitely need to make some really sick play here. And I mean, if anybody's capable of it, clearly this guy is. Like this guy's playing insane this game, absolutely insane. By this guy, I mean Spartan.
We'll see as there's a nice blink. Just trying to hold him in place, and now Sam H gonna fall victim to that stolen Omni Slash.
Nice.
Slardar comes in and split the damage. It's not quite enough. Now Thug moves forward, is BKB'd up, drops the Sonic Wave, and they will be able to kill off the Slardar with the stolen gem at Roost site. And now they're gonna focus down Cuckoo, but oh my goodness, the Ice Path saves the day. He still does end up popping, and the gem is back available for Mousesports. So decent hold there. Still, they have to drop their Rubik, but
This gem is just bouncing around.
I know.
I mean, it's honestly so good for Mouse that they got the gem back. The map control from this Nightstalker hero is I mean that's his late game is that you get the map control. So if you don't have the gem, it's just. I mean, I don't want to say it's useless to have the item scepter, but it's so much less of a cancer hero in the late game.
Yeah. So looking at the net worth right now, I mean, we saw it go up a little bit when there was that big Roche fight, and then obviously this is the mid-racks just being taken down. But
Yeah.
I mean, can TNC just continue to ride this wave, or do they really have to give pause to Mousesports, who are now kind of hitting their second wind?
Well, it is interesting to consider what happens in like the super ultra late game. Like, can they hold out until that point? Because I do think, okay, actually, as you said, there's the second wind, and the second wind is still very much so the window is still open. They have that gem. They definitely have the damage capable of taking down these heroes from TNC. They are innately fairly squishy heroes. Going for, Lina has a Daedalus now, so relatively squishy. But it's going to get harder and harder. So yeah, they do have the window, but things may change in like the super hyper late game. Things get really, really weird.
Yeah, Juggernaut also picking up the full Eye of Scotty now, so his right clicks are no longer pansy tier. He is really slicing him up.
Yeah, and he's tanky too. So the whole burst that comes from the Mousesports lineup is. I don't think they'll kill him from full HP. They're going to need the Razor to stick on him with all the burst spells and all the stun spells being used on him. Of course, that's a lot harder to do with the Manta-style Blink and Blade Flurry available.
I mean, right now, it seems like the last couple of fights Mousesports have lost because one key hero is just really out of position where, earlier in the mid, we saw the Razor be up here, caught out, and picked off, and that was just, Mousesports then can't fight. They don't have that static link with rain damage from a core and TNC, and they don't have damage on their own team. They don't have control on their own team. So if Mousesports just WAD is 5, is that their key to get back in this, or do they need to go and try to make those sneaky plays?
I do think that you're probably right. They do need to go make those sneaky plays because they do have the Nightstalker. I think if they take a full 5-on-5 engagement, the later it goes, the harder it's going to be to take that 5-on-5 engagement. But as I say that, the Razor actually picks up a DD. So hey, maybe if they have a DD, it's gonna be easier. And one thing that we actually haven't necessarily considered yet is that this Nightstalker is going for a Heaven's Halberd. So a Heaven's Halberd in the late game is an absolutely broken item, and if you disarm the Jug, I'm not sure how the interaction works with Omni Slash, but obviously you disarm him and he just does 0 damage.
Alright, so Juggernaut going to be caught out here. They're trying to just make some space while down bottom the racks are being pushed. The Omni Slash delays things further, so they've got to lock down Raven, but Raven's running away. The Sonic Wave will end up finishing him off. They get the kill. They do end up trading Spartan's life. Meanwhile, they're not able to finish off the tier 3 tower here. Instead, coming to their team's aid, Razor just hamming up, is able to go and kill off that Slardar, taking out another one with him. Look at this Razor go! My god, Jakiro's corpse is going to hit the ground as he's able to get 3.
That was a DD max link Razor. I mean, if you get that sort of circumstances occurring in this game, then they actually do have the damage.
That's a huge window.
Yeah, that's very good for Mouse. That cracks the window open a little bit more, to be honest. So
they're gonna ping the Roche. Still about 2 minutes till that boy spawns, and I mean, do Mousesports just have to try their luck at getting a tier 2 into high ground now? 'Cause
well,
it seems like
looks like
they're not going to get a better opportunity with Jug with
because
dead with no buyback.
It's very. I think it's just very unlikely that the Jug is going to want, or the Jug or the Lina are going to want to buy back for a tier 2. Although it looks like they're actually just opting to back off and just farm, I guess, looking potentially for more kills before they can push the towers. Okay, they ping it now, so they're going for the tower now.
They're just, if Roche was up, it would have been a nice detour, but for now they just got to go and try to push their luck. And now Razor, he's queued up the butterfly here, so do you think Mousesports' lack of tower push is a problem? Because they're not going for the Aghanims, Razor.
I'm not 100% concerned about the lack of tower push, because I do think that they need to kill the entire enemy team before they just walk up and push a tower. I think that the way this game is going, the way one of the teams pushes isn't just a 5-man behind one guy. I think that's going to result in a very lost team fight. I think the way they push high ground is they kill the entire enemy team and then just go whack towers, as we saw for the mid racks. I think that's just the style of these particular heroes. They're fighter heroes. Nobody really pushes towers super well, and they're going for builds that are more about fighting. So.
Oh, they scout out our Earthshaker here. He has an invis rune now.
Oh god, there's a DD bot.
Oh man, this is Mousesports taking a really aggressive fight. No one taking the DD rune just yet. And now Spartan goes in, steals himself up an Ice Path. Not the best tool, but he'll take it until he can steal something better. DD rune now will be scouted out by the Lina.
Jug gonna take the DD.
Looks like Jug's making his way forward, but Lina does end up taking it. So this is a really aggressive fight for Mousesports to take. They're on enemy territory. They know their sentry ward's down. Now they go in with the stolen Ice Path. They lock down the Jakiro. Nice little pick and disable if they can get it off, and they do end up finishing him off with Madara. Static Link still going through as they're getting a lot done. Look at this Razor. He's BKB'd up, but still eating a lot of damage there. The Omni Slash burn. It's not going to get anyone killed. Queen of Pain goes and focusing down the Lina. They will get the kill. This is huge for Mousesports. Thug is now godlike, and Razor still soaking in the damage. 126 stolen. They're getting what they need. The Lina is dead without buyback. They're chasing down the Sand King. Meanwhile, though, there is some movement from Slardar. Maybe seeing if he can go solo push. Either way, it's a beyond godlike streak for the Queen of Pain, and everyone on Mousesports is still up. They didn't drop a single support for that, and now they can go take their Roche, claim their prize, and potentially try their luck at high ground here.
That was so well played by Mousesports. The Thug just immediately recognized that he needs to get right on top of the Lina, and actually he positioned himself such that the Lina, he was on high ground. The Lina was actually missing him every time, so despite the DD, Thug just right-clicks him to death with the Mjolnir and with the pure damage coming from the Sonic Wave. So there's BKBs coming out, and Lina could have absolutely crushed that fight, but Thug wasn't having it. He was saying, no, I'm gonna kill you. You wanna get to my team, you got to go through me. So really well played by him, and then Lina just wasn't a problem in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the early Jakiro pick was nice as well. Didn't have to worry about the Macroplier underfoot. Didn't have to worry about the slow from the dual breath. But
yeah,
either way, Aegis and She's now claim for Mousesports. Can they go and try their luck at high ground with Lina respawning so soon, or do they have to back up, clear lanes, and wait for the next big fight?
It's honestly, if they pick up the Razor Butterfly, I think they could probably sit. Okay, so he's actually super close to the Butterfly. I think they could potentially sit behind him. I think they'd probably opt more to go for a pick and then go for that. I don't think they'll go for a straight 5-man push because it's just so risky. And of course, it's very easy to get a pick off when you have the Night Stalker and all of these stuns, and super high mobility heroes. So I think it's just probably easier to. But if they wanted to risk it, I mean, some teams choose to do that. Some teams are like, this is our only window. We got to do this. But it looks like they are choosing to, before they actually go do anything aggressive, they're opting to push out their lanes and potentially go for pickoffs and things like that.
I mean, the momentum of Mousesports draft has been, really strong lanes, really nice early kills with the Night Stalker nighttime. Mid-game, they fell off a little bit as TNC really hit their stride, got that Juggernaut farmed up. Yeah. Got a couple really nice kills in the Shadow Blade pickup on the Lina, but now, like you mentioned, Night Stalker's got his full kit, the Earthshaker's doing some serious damage, and look at these two able to go in zone. Now they do end up getting that Void on the Jakiro. He's flapping himself away. Madara just wants to go try to chunk this tower through backdoor protection, but split push from the Lina. One
thing that's actually kind of difficult to notice from a spectator point of view is that, and from an enemy point of view too, if you're playing a Night Stalker, it's hard to realize how much it's actually affecting the enemy team. In that team fight, we saw DD Lina do absolutely nothing. They were so split. There's actually a BKB from the Sand King here. He just doesn't want to die. I mean, I think it's like the lowest. It's almost out, so no problem. But,
yeah, it's fine.
But anyway, as I was saying, the Night Stalker, just the positioning that allows them to have in a team fight, taking something from a DD Lina and actually still winning the fight, it's just something that's immeasurable. You know, it's insanely important to realize how
Oh, wow.
annoying that is for them actually to deal with.
Razor kept up his chase here. He's going to force out a TP from Sam H. So not only forcing out a BKB when the Earthshaker jumped in, but now forcing him to just go completely back to base and start fresh. Well, there's going to be some deep rotations in. I mean, this is some really good warding here. Don't see any movements in through the jungle. So Mousesports, they are not just rolling over and taking this with that last big fight. They've totally
definitely
evened out the net worth. And, I mean, we're back in an even game here.
They completely turned this around. And the thing is, when it comes to that Night Stalker, as I was saying, it's a completely context-based, skill-based thing. You know, they have to essentially position themselves in a way that even though they're dealing with something that does mathematically more damage in the late game, you know, maybe minus the Razor with the DD and things like that, they still position themselves in such a way that they win the fight just because they have more information to work with. So they beautifully took more information and they made it work in a way that the enemy team couldn't because they're dealing with a Night Stalker. And like I was saying, it's hard to realize that because it's hard to see the fog, you know. But they can see practically nothing because of this hero.
Raven with a spin TP out. Again, Thug is holding on to such a huge chunk of net worth. She's beyond godlike right now. Her bounty is going to be, what, like 1,500 or something crazy? So
oh, yeah.
Killing this Quap is a super high priority, but you've got to have all the tools necessary to do it because you can't afford to get another triple kill on this Quap. That is just a set of racks going down.
She's got 2,600 HP and 25 armor, a Lincoln Sphere, a BKB, and a cheese.
Not to mention 6K in the bank.
Yeah, this is... He's making himself real difficult to kill.
Yeah, went with the spell life steal as well on the 25. So
yeah,
this is scary. How do you finish itemizing this Queen of Pain? Because she can move the eat or move the cheese. She can grab a second pair of boots.
I would say probably a sheep stick. I would say maybe an Assault Crest if the Razor didn't already have one. I know people like to go for that in Queen of Pain. It looks like he's going for Travels next, which of course that makes sense. He's got full slots. Probably wants to hold on to that cheese. May as well go for Travels. But afterwards, I definitely think a sheep stick is the way to go, or refresher orb.
This is a really nice choke point fight. The Razor is seen. Now, are they going to bait the Dire into jumping at Night Stalker's there to follow up to see if anyone's going to be caught out? But it looks like TNC are playing this one smart. They're backing off. They do not want to take an unfavorable fight at a choke point with the enemy having a vision advantage. Yeah,
and I mean that's it is daytime, which presumably Mouse was like, okay, these guys they want to fight.
Here we go, Queen of Pain potentially in trouble there. Lina laying into him, but the cheese is eaten. BKB popped on both heroes, and now Quap just slapping Cuckoo for even attempting such a bold move.
That was actually a sweet play by Cuckoo. That was made him waste the cheese. He wanted to use it in more of a grandiose fashion, I'm sure. That was just a very sad way to use cheese, and I'm sure Cuckoo's very happy with that, with what just happened. The BKBs are running low, so that's a 5-second BKB. That literally does nothing. So yeah, that's nice. That's one thing to note actually, that Mousesports can't do anything to a BKB TP. So they're just abusing this completely and splitting with the Jug and the Lina and they're getting things done. So that's pretty nice. But with that being said, actually back to the kind of baiting things. They're baiting the Razor during day, but even though it's day, TNC was like, we're not falling for it. It's a Razor.
You guys got a fully kitted Night Stalker. We're not that dumb.
It's a Razor with an Aegis. There's a Night Stalker sitting right behind him, presumably with ultimate. So it's tantalizing, but they didn't take the bait.
So we've reached like a little bit of a stalemate. I mean, there's pickoffs, there's skirmishes, there's attempts, but we haven't seen that, big 5-on-5 clash till the Roche comes up. I mean, is Roche just going to be the pace setter of this game, or is it going to be when Mousesports go and smoke up and actually get real aggressive, or what's the next?
I think when Aegis is down and TNC has daytime, they just go for a fight. I think they're stronger at this point, minus the Aegis, minus the cheese, and minus nighttime. When it's nighttime, I think it's kind of the other way. They look for a fight on Mousesports. Mousesports looks for a fight on TNC, and there's actually a BKB popped here.
That was Cuckoo just evaporating the Rubik, who had just stolen the crush from Slardar. But, I mean, again, it's a Rubik. He's dead for 60 seconds, which is a lot. And now they're going to go on the Night Stalker as well. Really aggressive positioning from Skylark, and that might cost him his life here. He's going to eat up a lot of spells, but he goes down for 80 seconds. Mousesports just give away 2 really important kills, and now they're leaving the racks completely vulnerable.
And these heroes are dead for... they have no buyback. This is 70 seconds. The creep waves are not really in a good spot. Looks like Madara's still pushing top. He's gonna be like, you guys wanna take our buildings. I'm gonna take yours. But I do think that they're just pushing mid, and they're gonna go bot racks, it seems, because the tower is just about dead. In fact, the top tower is completely dead. So
it's now down to like 3 heroes to hold this
off.
This
This is rough, but the Razor is very strong, and actually it's perfect timing because the Razor Aegis is down.
Now they're going in. They are going to be able to lock down the Lina. She forced herself away, and they get the BKB off. Now Slardar eating up a lot of damage. Madara is going to take an Omni Slash. It goes to the creeps, though. Unfortunate for the Juggernaut, but they do still end up finding the kill, and maybe next time wasn't able to go. And Madara, he's stuck here. He might get killed. He mantas himself right before he goes down. He buys back immediately, but still 2 heroes dead without buyback. Now the Quap is back in. Can the Quap do enough here? She's burning low. Her Linkens is popped. This is so much trouble right now. Razor's buyback going through. He gets off a full duration static link, but the Quap, she has to buy back as well. This is it. This is Mousesports' last hold right now because TNC, I mean, they just completely forced Mouseport to do a lot of what they did not want to do. Buybacks burned on so many of their heroes, and now they just get to go buy back the Roche, potentially coming up very, very soon. They're going to be able to clear their jungle, go for the next wave of items, reset, get their ults up, and then they know there's no buybacks on the important heroes. That's huge.
Fortunately for Mouse, the gem just came off cooldown, so they can actually buy the gem, clear up the Roche wards, and potentially take a fight at Roche. So they can definitely still win this with the Roche fight. But I think if they lose next Aegis, it's just completely over.
Did Razor just deny 2-3?
He did indeed.
All right, Madara, that's some bold strats. But
he's not. They're actually just running straight at it with the DD Jug. This is the 40-minute rune spawn, people.
They gotta do it. This is what, TNC, if they mega here, there is very little chance that Mousesports can actually hold. Mousesports, they have to kill.
They forced the fort. That's pretty good. Just letting Lina hit. Lina's very tanky, actually. The Scotty doing tons of work in the last fight.
She machine guns this, and the Jug Illusions getting these racks really, really low. Cloth forced to go in, and Shiva's guard just to clear out the creeps. So, I mean, Mousesport's definitely losing their grip on this game, and it just comes down to poor positioning. We saw the Rubik and the Night Stalker get chain killed here, and that was the domino effect. That was when TNC said, okay, we push now, and either we force buybacks or we take structures, and they ended up taking both.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've been talking about the whole game. It's this issue that they need everybody alive and everybody to position perfectly, essentially, to win these fights just against TNC's late game lineup. But they actually did. They actually did a couple of times, so they're perfectly capable. It's just that it gets harder and harder and harder.
Big Roche fight coming in. They're trying to focus down this Jakiro as quick as the fight starts, and it looks like the static link is going to be full duration. They get off a ton of damage on that Razor, who's still just going ham. Eats up a full Omni Slash, though. He's down to half health, but Thug Man's up, goes in, and they get the kill on the Jakiro, who buys back immediately and can still TP to Shrine. And now, oh man, the Night Stalker potentially in some trouble, but able to slip his way out. They're trying to focus down the Slardar, who's just worming his way out. And now Earthshaker still looking for something with the force down through. Pops off the Echo. And they are able to go lock down this Lina, but she's slipping her way out. The Sand King's still alive. So buybacks are being forced. The Slardar again did force a buyback. Now Jakiro, this could be a dieback on him, and it looks like it will be. A stolen ice path making an X across the map, and they are able to go, but looks like unfortunately our Queen of Pain goes, and that's a good game call, as there's no buyback on the Quap, the Razor, or the Rubik, and there's no chance at defending racks here. So after a long fought 56-minute game, TNC persevere through all the team fight and the wombo combo of Mousesports, and they win slowly but surely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really good read by TNC to realize that the enemy team is essentially